everyone, Christian here. Figured I'd make a quick video, enjoy what's left of this nice day. Basically this one I think should be about some quick first time investments maybe that somebody can do if they've never really looked into it, or just thinking about doing something either for themselves or for something in the future, putting towards that either, whatever asset, or maybe an investment in yourself, or whatever. I mean, there's lots of different types of investments. So just to begin, I mean, this could be for, a high schooler or somebody middle-aged or older, maybe that never really got into putting stuff to the side or planning too much ahead. I know plenty of people that have a hard time putting things to the side, and those people exist, and it's okay, but it's better late than never. So I figured I'd start off one of those things being invest in yourself. Just eat right, try to make proper choices, don't go overboard on things, and if you do enjoy something that might be considering like smoking or like drinking or sweets, and anything in excess, try to avoid. Moderation is the key, and if you invest in yourself that way, and you'll be much better off in the long run, and you'll be able to enjoy the rest of your investments. So that's definitely number one. But another one actually being too, when I started as a kid, I started getting coins, and I'd go to banks and I'd pretty much look for any type of silver coin, dimes, nickels, quarters, anything 1964 and before. And basically most of those end up having a good amount of silver in them. So it's a nice way to introduce yourself into the collectible, metal market. Basically, if you just want something to, basically save up, and it's worth more than its face value, so you have literally nothing to lose than changing in, a $20 or $100 bill at your local bank and getting that roll and just taking your time to go through them. I mean, if you're watching TV or something, it's a perfect thing to do. And so that's definitely one of those things, so anybody can do that. And again, 1964 and prior, those are the ones you want to keep an eye out for. Another type of investment would be, just collectibles. Everybody's got a hobby, and some of those hobbies have items which you can, keep, save, sell, whatever, and along those lines, basically something interesting too, generally during economic downturns and turmoils, collectibles tend to hold their market, hold their value in the market, and it seems to be something like counterintuitive, you'd think, but generally if you got something good and you bought it at a decent price and you hold it and take care of it, many of those things you can end up getting some money in the long run, make a profit, or at least hold its value better than leaving your money just sitting at a bank. And I mean, there's tons of collectibles. I mean, things you can use, for example, pipes, or antiques, different types of like rings, or lots of things, precious stones, guns, ammo. Along those lines, ammo just keeps going up in price, and if you bought a decent piece, usually those things don't go down in value either unless you do something bad to it. But basically, so you got those, and just other little assets like that that are just worth, if you look out for, and you can probably make a decent profit on if you hold for a while. So of course, don't just jump in and put all your eggs in one basket type of situation in any type of thing, but it's just an extra thing that anybody can do, and it adds up in the end, and I've had that experience myself with multiple things, so I can attest to that. Another one would be, you got things like bonds, and you can basically, if you get your tax refund, you can get some, Series EE bonds that basically pay you pay half of face value, and then they basically double, and then you make some interest off of them. Right now it's not the best time for bonds, so it's just one of those side things that if you want to do, you can do. My grandma pretty much exclusively almost lived off bonds and her property that she managed, so it's a good way to do that and make some passive income. Another one along passive income is, you got stocks and basically, ETFs and different types of market funds. You can just, there's many different kinds. I'm not going to go into all of them, but, you can check them out. And I mean, those things basically, you get a little bit of diversity, and generally speaking, you end up making more in the long run by holding those than you would if you just kept your cash and left it at the bank. And that's unfortunately, so many kids are taught the wrong way in school, that the way to make money and to be successful in life is to work hard, really hard, for your entire life, save up, and that's how you get there. No, you can make money a lot easier, a lot faster in other ways. And I'm not talking any illicit ways. I'm saying, like, just along these lines that I'm speaking right now, but especially in the stock market. And if you make good picks, and there's some that, of course, there's different levels of risk depending on what you get into, but it's if you're 18 years old, you got a debit card or something, you can get into the stock market. There's many different, many different companies that you can use. Things like, big companies like Charles Schwab, or like Vanguard, or a bunch of things. Littler ones like Robin Hood or Webull, and just look around, see what you like, and get your dabble. And before getting into it, I recommend playing on a stock simulator game, and that way basically you could kind of test your theories out and see how things go before actually putting any money down. But in general, people, if you make right choices, you'll do a lot better off in that than you were, just like I said, keeping your money in the bank. And especially right now, considering all the money that's, the stimuluses and all the debt that the U.S. government took on, and other countries have taken on with the whole virus situation, one of the few ways that you will keep and make actually value on that money is by investing it. If you keep it in, just hold it as cash or spend it right away, you're losing money. Don't if you need to spend on something immediately for whatever reason, of course life has its precedent moments, like you gotta put towards those things, obviously, whatever is most important. But if you got extra money on the side to spare, considering putting some of it into the stock market, putting it into some different funds, mutual funds, basically it will work for you while you work at a job or do anything else. It's worth it. Along those lines as well, digital currency. I'm not saying that you should really go out and buy Bitcoin and all this other stuff. No. I'm saying that generally it's nice to have a different, a bag of assets, not just everything in one place, but digital currency, especially now that all this kind of, market turmoil and stuff, people tend to put a little bit more money into it. I'd be wary of that at the beginning. If you do start small, I'd recommend the stock market over digital currency, just because you have a lot more protection. Stay away from penny stocks if you do go into the stock market. But basically, stocks and mutual funds, ETFs, are a lot more safe considerably than the fluctuations that you'll get in digital currency, literally in a day, moving up. But then again, some companies will move 20-30% in a day too, so be aware of the level of risk what you're trying to get into and plan according to that. Another investment that's worth getting into is obviously properties. If you have the means, look for getting really good cheap prices on houses, and if you fix them up, you can flip them, or you can house hack by living in them and renting out a room or part of it. There's lots of different loans and different benefits for people that are first-time buyers. So a situation like that, if you have the means to do it, look into it. But I'm mainly focusing on all the things I said before that anybody can basically get into without that much of a big initial investment. And basically along those lines, trying to think what else. There's quite a few things, but I think I pretty much summarized it really. Generally, if you got a chance and you have some extra money, put it towards something. Don't just let it sit. And especially invest in yourself, number one. And if you have like a hobby or something, and also you can turn it into a business. You can, maybe YouTube videos or something. All these things, it could go someplace if you actually intend to, build on it. And you'd be pleasantly surprised. It might take a little bit, but you'll end up probably a lot happier that you took the, jump in and than if you didn't. So hopefully this information is helpful to somebody starting off that might have never gotten into any type of investment, but I'm going to make much more detailed videos in the future. This was just basically a quickie, an introduction, something just to mention some things that can stay in the back of your mind. But I wish you all the best, and I'll see you in the next one.